Alright, so I've got some bad news. And the bad news is, as you can probably tell, the mic quality is going to be fairly shit for this stream, and there's no way to fix it. So, if you're wondering why I sound a bit more muffled than normal, it's because I can't fix the problem, so... Also, you notice the webcam's not coming on. The webcam is also fucked, so... I've had some really bad, technical issues today and I can't fix them, so we're stuck like this, so you're gonna have to have a scuffed mic today. So hopefully you can still understand me at least a little bit, but that's the best I've got. No normal monsters? Huh? Original YouTube, by the way. I don't even know what happened. All my like peripherals just not working. I don't understand. And if I have my mic and my webcam plugged in, all sound and all audio on my PC just disappears. And my mic stops working. So I can only have one of them plugged in, so I have just my mic plugged in. And when it's plugged in, it sounds like this, which is scuffed, and I can't fix it, so... It won't impact to normal videos, because I'll just have to, use my other laptop to record the audio. But, yeah. I've done more than tried turning it off and on again. I've done, like, full Windows reset and shit. It's not fixing it. I think the sound card is just fucked, so... You're just gonna have to deal with slightly scuffed mic. I don't think it's too... Like, I think you guys can understand me, I think. I hope. So, that's the main thing. It's just a bit scuffed. No more Eyeblee decks? True. Haven't they played Eyeblee before the MMO was released anyway? Alright. So, we've got a box anyway. We have a box. There's a lot of cards to go through. We've also got a lot of, skill things too to look at. Which I'm assuming people will be interested in looking at. They've essentially done I love how they've essentially done the same thing twice, because they both got announced on the same day. But in here we've got a whole bunch of things, including an Allure of Darkness. And a bunch of leaked cards. My favorite Scuff streamer. Our alerts off. Oh, sorry, I'll turn that back on. Alert box. Yeah. Oh, 24 months, okay. Easy, we
Loom, you
appreciate it.
worthless piece of shit, can't
I
even
thought that
get
is
anything
so
right.
loud on my end.
An absolute disappointment of a YouTuber. Get your
That's
life
probably louder than my actual
together.
voice.
Worthless.
Alright. So I guess before we go through the cards, also everyone's joining, I guess we'll go through some of the skills. Oh, wait. So let's have a look at some of these new skills that are coming. Oh boy. We've got My Treasure, Blue Eyes White Dragon. Increase the attack of Blue Eyes White Dragon normal monsters on your field by 500. Holy. Is that like a permanent gain? So they just keep stacking? I guess that's something. This skill can only be used once per turn. If you begin the duel with a deck that contains exactly one Blue Eyes White Dragon and no cards in your no cards in your extra deck and one Blue Eyes. Why is this? Why would you need to limit something so shit? I guess because they want to make it more anime themed. It's like, oh, because he only had one Blue Eyes, but what, bruh, no extra deck? Why? God, that is scuffed. The Forbidden Power. Alright. Can't use it if you brick. You can't use it at all. It's fucking garbage. No extra deck? Like, bruh. Yeah, Blue Eyes Monarchs. Alright. You can activate one of the following effects each time your life points decrease by...
So since you won't make a Vylon video, I have another deck in mind that'll be relevant because of the level up rewards.
I haven't even checked his level up rewards in game. Have they got them on the website? I actually haven't checked them yet. I was too busy looking at the new box. I hate when they release boxes on the day of, by the way. It's so annoying because now I'm trying to like giga learn all the new stuff and what cards I need to use and all this kind of shit like within 12 hours or something, which I have videos ready on day one. Fuck, it's going to be annoying. But anyway, what are these level ups? Do we have them yet? These are just farming stuff. I don't know, what about it later? It's the first card under the Allure deal? It's not this thing. I've already read this card. We'll get to that in a second. We'll keep going through the skills now. Alright, so we're at the Forbidden Power. Alright. You activate one of the following effects each time your life points decrease by 1,000. Each effect can be only used once per duel. Why is there a life point thing on this? Play one Exodia monster to your field from your hand in face-up attack position. Wow. I guess that's for the Invincible Exodia thing, whatever it is. Place one Exodia Forbidden one from outside of your deck or to your graveyard. Cool. Reveal one Exodia monster in your hand and place one right arm of the Forbidden one and one left arm of the Forbidden one from outside of your deck to the graveyard. Reveal one Exodia monster in your hand and place one right, blah blah blah. Okay. I mean, it's something, but I feel like having a life point requirement already basically kills it. Maybe it doesn't. You would have to have like an actual add back to hand from graveyard cards though, which are not too hard to have. No cards in your extra deck. I think that matters too much. Because if you're playing skills like this, you're probably just playing some cringy stall thing with like the Divine Wrath. Not, is Divine Wrath? No, not Divine Wrath. The thing that protects your life points and stuff. Like obviously, I don't think this skill's gonna be competitive, but I'm just trying to think like it's even like at all playable in any sense. Probably not. I don't even know if it's even video worthy. I've got too many videos organized to try to deal with this shit. But people would probably like to see an Exodia video, I don't know. Maybe with vampires? I guess. I assume the Exodia pieces are on Grandpa's level ups, right? I assume they are. Bold guess that one. Alright. The Forbidden Overlord of Yore can be used for your normal draw each time your life points decrease by 1,000. One of these cards from your normal draw this turn will be a random Forbidden One monster or Exodia card from your deck. Okay. Um, sure. Add one right leg and one left arm from outside of your deck to the bottom of your deck. Add one blah 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 blah. Alright, this skill's completely dead. Why is it random? I don't know that one. And if you're gonna play Exodia, probably try this one, but I don't know if that's even gonna be worthwhile. That seems like a shit skill. Alright. Extra Curse 1. What if there's anything like you can do any stupid stuff you can abuse with this though? Because this is just like a cosmic cyclone, and then you can sort of get random shit in the graveyard for other decks. Man, I was trying to think if there's anything in particular I could do with this that'd be silly, but anyway. My grandpa's extra deck has no cards, Kyver. Oh, that's fucking good, buddy. That's a good one. Alright, extra curse 1. If an opponent's monster in the extra monster zone is destroyed at battle, inflict 500 damage to your opponent's life points. 500? Oh my god. This skill can only apply when there are no cards in your extra deck. Okay. Extra curse 2. On your next turn, after your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, this skill can be activated while your extra deck has less cards than your opponent's. Select one monster in the extra monster zone and decrease its attack and defense until the end of the turn by the difference in the number of cards between the. Okay, by 100? Okay. That's like max minus 800. Holy, that's crazy. Wait, your opponent had to summon a monster too, so it's like a max 700. That's crazy. What a skill. Got only once per duel. Thank God. If this could be used multiple times, absolute meta breaker right there. Yowza! A divine card. Is that like a quote from the anime or something? I don't remember him saying Yowza, but anyway. Can be used if there is an Egyptian god card on your opponent's field. Add cards with the same name as each of the Egyptian god cards on your opponent's field to your hand. What? What reference is this for? Huh? Bro, these guys are watching a different anime to me. I don't know what's going on here. What? Eh? Sinister Serpent Surprise, the little music symbol thing. Am I to sing this? Okay, anyway. Each time your life points decrease by 1,000, you can use one of the following effects. You can only use each of the effects once per duel. Can be used for your normal draw. Instead of conducting your normal draw, place one Sinister Serpent to your graveyard from outside of your deck. Can be used during your main phase. Return all your banished Sinister Serpents to your graveyard. During your standby phase, if it's in the graveyard, you can add it to your hand. Right. Okay. Well, that one doesn't really do much, so I think we just move on from that one. I can see like I know I can't really see a use for this. It's just minus 1,000 to add a card to hand. I mean, there's a lot of decks that used to use value generating shit like this, so maybe people will care enough to want to run adding a free card to your hand. I mean, normal draw happens after though, right? Like your standby phase happens before you draw your card, so you don't even get the, or they can happen at the same time. I don't know. Either way, let's move on. Spoilers? Spoilers for what? Huh? Okay. Um, Armed crossover. Send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, then add one level monster from your deck to your hand, and 4 different armed dragon monsters and one white sorry, to your deck from outside of your deck. After doing so, send up to 2 monsters from your hand deck to the graveyard with a combined level of 10, and select to 3 monsters from your graveyard. Okay. As long as the selected monsters remain in the graveyard, they will be dark and cannot be used for fusion material. The skill can only be used once per duel. If you begin the duel with a deck, excluding extra deck that contains 10 or more wind armed dragon monsters and no monsters other than armed dragon monsters or normal monsters. Alright. So the issue with this skill is this first part, this being able to search for a level monster, I believe is already a skill in the game. Which then leaves, is all this other crap worth running the annoying requirement you've got? So the only other the reason to run this other stuff is for the be able to special summon your dad from hand, right? That's the only reason you care for all this is to summon dad. So if you don't care about that, then you can just run the other skill and you don't have to deal with all this restriction crap or have to deal with putting a white veil in your deck. So there is a good chance, I'm not going to say a great chance, but there's a good chance that people won't use this skill at all. they'll just run Armed Dragon with the other skill, which just lets you search the same way this thing does, I'm pretty sure. Or similar to how this thing does, we can just search for level monsters. He's some level 10 Armed Dragon as well. We'll see how it turns out. Like, I don't really like the idea of having to run. God. I don't know. Dad stuff isn't that bad in my opinion. I mean, it's not bad. It's just you're getting the dad set up, but you have to deal with this big ass requirement shit and have to have a white veil in your deck. Plus, you're going to be adding, was it 4 more different armed dragon monsters to your deck? Your entire deck is going to be just monsters, and you've already got the requirement on top of it and a white veil in there. When you could just run the other skill, which makes things a lot easier. I don't know. We'll see. Because what does the other skill do? I don't even remember it. It's some level searching thing, right? It's called level. It should be just called level up or something. Return 1 level monster or level up to your deck from your hand, then 1 level monster or level up to your hand from your deck. So it's literally just a search for any of the level monsters. So you can either run this or you can run this, which does the same sort of search thing, but then has all the bullshit attached to it. So we'll have to see. I'm not looking super convinced of this skill anyway, but we'll see. Wait, it's a Legacy Duel skill? Is it? Wait, so can we not use this skill? The hell? You can use that skill. What? I'm very confused now. It is usable, okay. I'm confused. Stop confusing my small brain, chat, okay? It's very small. Alright, Pantheist Revelation. At the angel, add 3 Pantheism of the Monarchs. This is the draw card, right? So on Monarch, spell a trap card from your hand to the graveyard, draw 2 cards. That's pretty good. You banish this card from your graveyard, reveal 3 Monarch spell traps from your deck. Your opponent chooses 1 to add to your hand, shuffle the rest back into the deck. That's pretty good too. Alright, this skill is already starting off good. Alright, let's finish it now. The following effects can be used once per duel on turn 4 and onward. Okay, well, it's gotten worse, but that's okay. Return a monster with 800, blah, 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 and 1 Monarch, spell a trap card from your hand to your deck, and then add 1 random monster. Okay. Why does this need to be from turn 4 and onward? This is already a pretty average effect, but anyway. The skill can only be applied if you begin the duel with a deck excluding extra deck that contains 6 or more monsters with 2400 or more attack. Yeah, and 6 or more Monarch spell and trap cards. Well, this skill seems pretty good. This part here, I don't even know why they bothered including it. They might as well just deleted it. But the first part, adding this card to your deck, if we don't have this in the box, which I don't actually know yet because I haven't gone through the box, is it in the box? The Pantheism thingy? I don't see it in here. It'll be an SR Ultra, right? Yeah, if it's not in the box and you're just getting given this card, that's the only way to get it. That's pretty decent. So it's literally it's a draw card and it's a search card, so it's mad value from this thing. And Monarchs definitely need the value. That deck is not known for being too good, so unless we got some really dope skills like this, the deck wouldn't be that great. So hopefully, this skill would help it not be complete shit. But we have to see. We have to wait and see. Alright. Destiny effect. Okay, is this like shit Destiny? Oh, this is the Destiny hero skill. You can use the following effects once each during a duel in which you have normal summoned a Destiny Hero monster. After using the skill, you cannot normal summon /set or special summon monsters during the main phase, except Destiny Hero monsters and monsters from the extra deck. Set one polymerization from outside of your of your deck to your field, and send one Destiny Hero Malicious to the graveyard. All monsters in your field with a level 8 or higher gain 200 attack. This is relevant because it makes this dude have different attack from his original, so he's able to pop things, I believe. That's the use of that. From your third turn onward, you can return one banished Destiny Hero monster to your deck, then add one Destiny Hero Plasma from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and then return one card from your hand to your deck. So this is pretty cool because it can recycle your Malicious too. Alright, so this skill honestly seems pretty good. I don't really see like a huge downside to it. You're just sort of getting a it's just gonna be a new way to play Destiny Hero. With the whole goal is gonna be setting up this quick effect pop off this guy, which we'll talk about later. So isn't good. Abyss Dweller pops and shuts off graveyard. Isn't good? Okay, so no links. I don't think links matter too much. Or the Clock Tower one. The Clock Tower one has a lot of it's a lot more versatile, right? I don't know. I don't know yet because I have to read more on the I don't want to. The thing is, I don't want to spoil this ultra like going through it now. So I kind of want to talk about this skill later because I don't fully remember like all this dude's effect. So I kind of want to go through that later. So I think we'll skip and talk about this until we talk about that card like towards the end. But I don't think this skill is gonna be that bad. I think it should be fine, just as a for fun skill at least. So like at worst, you're meant to be setting up just one quick effect pop, right? So even if it's just like a back row deck, you're fine. There was no like, was there even a limit on the amount of monsters you had to run or something? Can we just run like a standard amount of Destiny Hero monsters and not have to worry about? We can actually have a just decent back row and mask change and all that kind of shit. Oh, a burning aurora. Add one Salamangreat. Okay. Add one Salamangreat Heat Layer and one Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf to your extra deck at the beginning of the duel. The following effect can be used once per turn until the end of this turn. All monsters on the field gain 100 attack for each monster on the field. So just a better ties, I guess. This will only be used as applied if your extra deck contains 10 or more Salamangreat monsters, including at least one Salamangreat Heat Leo. What was Salad playing currently? Just Code Talker Salad, right? And if they're playing Code Talker Salad, they don't care. But does Pure Salad actually care about this? Oh, I guess Konami saw people playing it's similar to the Cyber Angel skill. They saw people were playing ties and they sort of gave them their own version of ties to try to get more people to play this character. But I'm pretty sure Code Talker Alive is the way better version of Salad, so I don't know about that one. Oh yeah, two extra deck slots as well. You do make a good point there. Although I think a lot of people weren't even playing Heat Leo, right? So it's only +1, so you get one of these. CA skill? Cyber Angel skill? Where? I don't see no Cyber Angel skill. Oh, did I say Cyber Angel? I meant, that's not what I meant. That's what I meant. The fucking Trickstar skill, sorry. Wrong waifu. Wrong waifus. Alright, speed spell clear wing can be used by removing speed counters effects variant on the okay, we don't even need to read we don't even need to read this one because we all know there's only gonna be one speed row skill to the end of this game's existence. Alright, so next up, after we look at the skills, is we'll have a look at I assume these are Moto's level ups, so I guess we'll have a look at the level ups. I assume these are level ups. Dystopia, the Despondent. Cannot be normal summon / set. Must be summoned from your hand or graveyard by sending 4 face-up level 1 monsters you control in the graveyard. It can be set summoned by other ways. Wait, 4? But I have to have a link 1 as well? That can't even be a link 1. That's like... You have to have a level 1 monster in your extra monster zone? Okay. Other monster you control cannot attack. During either player's battle step, once per battle involving this card, you banish 1 level 1 monster from your graveyard until the end of damage step. This card's unaffected by other card effects or cannot be destroyed by battle. I mean, this card is cool, but it requires 4. 4! They don't know what game of Yu-Gi-Oh! We're playing here? Relinquished? Oh god. It'll be reduced to 3, copium. Card seems pretty dope though. Definitely won't be trying to play this thing though with that requirement, but if it was 3, it might be playable in some sense. Ordeal of a Traveler. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, your opponent chooses 1 random card in your hand and calls that type of the card. Monsters spell a trap. If they call it wrong, return the attacking monster to hand. Okay, garbage. Moving on. Dice Jar. Flip. Both players roll a 6-sided die. The player with the lowest result takes damage equal to their opponent's roll times 500. However, the winner's roll... the loser takes 6,000 damage? I mean, that's pretty... Imagine losing to this card. Holy shit, that would be embarrassing. God, that would be embarrassing. Halved? They wouldn't do that, right? They wouldn't halve this card. They'd take all the fun out of it. That would take the fun out of this card if they halve it. There's no way. Right. Arfiend's Awakening. You can ritual summon this card with contracts with the Abyss. This card's name becomes Summon Skull on the field, but it's still treated as Arfiend card. Cannot be destroyed by battle, except by battle with ritual monsters. It cannot be destroyed by monster effects, except with those of ritual monsters. If this ritual summon card you control is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, you can spell or summon 1 Summon Skull from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Unfortunately, this card is it is a card of all time. I really wish that with this card they'd given it the same effect the Synchro has, the Arfiend Synchro that's non-targetable, right? Been a while since I've played it, but excuse me, DLM, would you like to load? Hello? This one. This your opponent cannot target any summon skull with card effect. I guess because you have to have this on the field at the same time, it still works, but it's kind of aids to get both of them on the field at the same time. It's not impossible though. It's still really annoying though. I just kind of wish this thing just had the untargetable effect by default. So I feel like you could really actually do something with this deck if it had the untargetable stuff on it. It'd still lose heavily to like Dingirsu and, you know, what's the trap card called? IDP or whatever it is. The removal trap card. All the untargetable stuff, but I feel like it'd be actually more of a deck then. You're supposed to have them both on the field? Yeah, but now we have to like rely on getting them both on the field, which isn't exactly the most consistent thing, I'd imagine. Although you can probably summon this thing fairly easily. But yeah. Yeah, prison. I'd like to make a video on this because I actually really like this card. This card I've always been a fan of. He's been really fun in some back when What Grows in the Graveyard was a deck and all that kind of stuff. This card was really fun. So I'd like to build a deck on this. It's just I just don't think this card is that great on his own, sadly. All right, moving on. We'll start on the. Oh, sorry, we got the bundle first. We have Allure of Darkness. Whoa. Is it okay? Realistically, is there any deck that's actually going to use this in Duel Links? Because Thunder Dragon absolutely sucks balls. Is there any deck that actually cares for Allure? Do we have anything that cares? Right, Raptor? No, don't even think about playing Thunder Dragon, okay? Let's not even think about that. Rocket? I was limited to one. Yeah, you can play that in Rocket if you like. I can see that in Rocket. Does Rocket have a limit one? I don't remember if Rocket has a limit one or not. They do not. They can run it if they want to. Seems pretty good. Seems decent. Seems decent. Any other popular dark decks going on at the moment? Orcus, I guess, actually. No, Orcus actually do the alert one. When am I typing Orcus? I'm trying to type dark. You guys have confused my small brain again. Raid Raptor? My two tour guides? Is that still in the game? Have they stolen them from you yet? Because they closed the shop off, right? Have they taken away the tour guides yet? Are they just gonna let people still keep them? No shot they let people keep them. I didn't go into it because I was under the impression they would take away my gems, and I'm like, and take away my tour guide, and I was like, yeah, nah. So for those of you that don't know, because I know a lot of you guys probably didn't notice this, in the shop under the limit one bundles, or those bundles with like limit cards in it, for some reason Konami reset it so you could rebuy all the bundles for God knows what reason. Because this meant you could go in there and buy yourself a second tour guide, which is not what you're meant to be able to do. And you could buy yourself a second copy of that other Pendulum card as well. The cards that are. Because the cards they didn't technically limit one, but they wanted you to only play one copy, so they only gave us one copy. It was definitely a bug. It was 100. Don't tell Konami. I mean, it's too late. They've already locked the shops. You can't. They're obviously fixing it. But yeah. So currently, right now, a bunch of people have two tour guides in the game. So I'm curious as to what they'll do. I wonder if they'll take away the tour guides. I assume they will, but I want to know if they'll give a refund or not. Because imagine they don't. Imagine there's like only a small portion of the community, a tiny portion, happens to own two tour guides. Just those people. It's an exclusive club. I wouldn't even be in it because I was just worried they would take away my gems and not give me a refund. So I was like, yep, nah. Oh, you paid real money, Harrier? Oh god. They have to give a refund? What if they give out what if they say give us an apology and it's 50 gems? That's what I'm going with. 50 gem apology for your 950 spend. Lawsuit, Larry. 50 being optimistic. You're right. 25. 25. Final offer. Thank you for playing, Julius. I can't imagine doing anything but a gem refund because giving back actual money sounds really hard to do across like multiple different sources. Because it's like Steam Store, Apple Store, whatever it is store, Google Play Store. It sounds a bit AIDS for them. So I think if they were going to do anything, it'd be an apology thing and they just take the L and just give out the 500 gems or something. Even though I know it's cost 950 per thing, so you'd all technically be losing out. But I feel like if they were going to give out a gem like back, they wouldn't be giving that many gems back because it was essentially most people abusing a bug. But I guess to be fair, it wasn't exactly the most noticeable bug. Some people might have actually gone in there and accidentally bought it. It is possible. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Giving out gold coins instead. All right, let's go through the actual cards now. So there's a lot to unpack in these cards, actually. So let's get straight into it. Starting off with my boy, Armed Dragon, the Armored Dragon. Wait, why is this guy's name not as cool as the one on DLM? What the hell? Why is this guy's name Armored Dragon instead of Armed Dragon, the Armored Dragon? The hell? When this card is always treated as an Armed Dragon card, alright? When this card destroys opponent's fly battle, you can special summon level 5 or lower wind monster from your hand or deck, except Arms Dragon, but it cannot attack directly this turn. Ah, so that's why. It's because we're never going to play this load of dog shit. Moving on. Sonic Tracker. A ritual spell. This card is used to ritual summon Transonic. There's a Sonic Sonic Bird? Like the little pink bird? You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal 4 or more. The levels of the monsters special summoned by this effect become the total levels of monsters used for its ritual summon. You banish this card from your graveyard, then target one ritual monster you control. Send one ritual monster with the same type or attribute from your deck to the graveyard. That's a whole lot of words for a whole lot of nothing. Okay. So Transonic Bird is this card, right? So let's see what we're summoning from it. You want to summon this card with Sonic Tracker. Once per turn, you can reveal one ritual spell in your hand. Add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand whose name is listed on that card. And if you do, shuffle the revealed card into the deck. That's pretty cool. Okay. That's kind of cool. Once per turn during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can send one ritual spell from your deck to the graveyard. This effect becomes that card's ritual. Oh! Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I assume this is lets you ritual summon. You can target one face-up card your opponent controls negates effects until the end of the turn. Like, this card's kind of cool. Right, so you use this thing to literally ritual summon just any ritual monster from your hand. It's like a quick effect. And you get like a negate on top of it as well. Although the negate's pretty pretty average because you have to use it like on monsters that are they can't use it in response to things, which kind of sucks, but it's like normal rarity. I mean, I don't know where I'd put this because it's it's cool, but I don't think it's that cool. It's certainly a card of all time. It takes so much resources to get stuff like this going. If this card was a fairy monster and was light though, god damn would I be stuffing this straight into my Cyber Angel deck. But sadly it is not, so probably not gonna see any play anywhere, I imagine. Especially considering like there isn't that many good ritual decks in Duel Links, and Nekros definitely don't need this. So the only thing this would need would be a Cyber Angel, and Cyber Angel are so dog shit. They don't use this isn't a light fairy, so you'd be stuffing it in, huh? I would stuff it into Cyber Angels any day. Alright. It sees Dimension Splash. If this set card is banished, you can special summon 2 level 8 water monsters from your deck. Oh, so this is like the this is a discount version of the that trap card from Master Duel, the Waking the Dragon. That affects the negators they cannot declare an attack or be tributed. Hmm. Look at rank A from them though. Dude, run through. Oh, is it reprinted? Or wait, it's actually reprinted. I don't think I've ever read this card. This card's so funny though. You can just play the if you're running a deck with triple cosmic, you just run triple of this, banish your own card to make a rank 8. Probably a complete dog shit, but sounds kind of funny. Alright, so apparently it's a reprint though, so we'll move on. That's the ice support. Alright. How do you even pronounce this? Ursarctic? Arctic? Ursarctic? Slider? Target one of your Ursarctic monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, special summon it but it cannot attack, or destroy it during the end phase. First this turn, if this card resolves, you cannot special summon except monsters with a level. What? Okay. So if this is searchable, it might be used. This is like the same it's got the same sort of extendery vibes like every other archetype has. So if they have a searchable monster reborn, generally sometimes they play one copy of it just to extend or bring back in later turns. But I don't think you'd unless they have a card you're in
Our
putting
game's
in.
on motorcycle!
Thank you for the sub. Unless they have cards in the graveyard that you want to bring back to like quick effect pop something, you probably won't care about this thing too much. Outside of being a searchable one of maybe. But maybe the archetype loves the Monster Reborn style effect, especially on a quick effect potentially, so could be good. Certainly doesn't seem like a bad card anyway. We'll see how it goes. I have no idea what the rest of the archetype does, so it's kind of hard to judge how good this card is. But Monster Reborn quick effect style stuff isn't too bad. Moving on. So I really don't want to play the Armed Dragon skill with this card in my deck, chat. I really don't. Alright. Ursarctic Big Dipper. Once per turn, if your Ursarctic monster would tribute a monster to activate its effect, you can banish one level 7 or higher Ursarctic monster from your graveyard instead. It's a field spell. Each time a monster is special summoned, place one counter on this card. Once per turn, if a monster is special summoned and an Ursarctic Synchro monster on the field, you can remove all counters from this card to target one monster your opponent controls. Take control of it. Let's have 7 counters? It's actually not that. It's each time for both players, right? How much summoning do you do during your turn for this deck? On average, would you say? Because keep in mind, we're playing Duel Links, right? If this deck summons like even like 5 times or something, that locks your opponent to 3 specials. I think you're yoinking that monster because it's just when a monster is special summoned, right? 4-ish, 4, 5. Come on, tier list, come on. Oh fuck. It's only special, right? Not just any summon. I've lost it now. Special summoned. So what does Speedroid normally do? We got what? 1. Grab this. That makes 2. He won't count the skill where it places on field, but then it goes into 3 for this. Clearwing 4. And that's only if you're not going for like Giga Speedroid plays, you're trying to play around this thing. It should be noted that you search for the field spell for free as part of your basic combo. But that isn't too good though, Harrier, right? Because then you're not getting all the special summons before that, unless it's like the first thing you do for the turn. You don't get to stack up many counters then. But I guess if you're getting it for free, like, you're going to use the card anyway. But I'm just wondering how useful this card is. That actually seems like a very annoying effect for a lot of decks. Like a lot of decks sound like they get annoyed by this thing. I'm liking the sound of this card already. This card seems really fun. Actually seems like really fun. I love the idea of like a. It's kind of like limit break, whatever that field spell is, but like not as cringe. To wait and see. I'm hoping this card is actually usable in the archetype, because this sounds like fun. Lefty Drive is a 1 card? Ooh. Okay. Alright. Ursarctic. How do you fucking pronounce this shit? Ursarctic Quint Charge. Once per turn, you pay 700 life points and activate one of the following effects. Add one Ursarctic monster from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, this is continuous. Tribute 2 Ursarctic monsters even if face down. If you do, spell summon from your extra deck one Ursarctic monster with a level equal to the difference in those levels, ignoring summoning conditions. When your Ursarctic monster is Ursarctic Synchro monster is destroyed by an opponent's attack, you can activate this effect. Your opponent must shuffle cards into the deck, so the total number of cards in their field, hand, and graveyard is 7. Right. Uh, Unless this deck turns into a very grindy deck, you probably don't care for this card, because the adding back to from graveyard to hand sounds tempting if it turns out to be a grindy deck, but if it's not a grinding deck, then you probably don't care too much. Ursa and Arctic. Ursa and Arctic. Ursarctic. Yeah, so unless it turned out to be a grindy deck, I don't think I care too much about this. The second effect is kind of bad. I mean, I can't really judge the second effect myself because I don't know what the Synchro monsters do. Like, if the Synchro monsters are like, on summon, Black Rose Dragon, so it's better to summon them during your opponent's turn, maybe you actually care about that. But, like, I don't know. It's not a grindy deck? Oh. If it's not a grindy deck, I don't think I care about this card. But then again, like I said, I don't know what the second effect is super useful yet until I've read the actual cards. Right. Exotic Billis. During the main phase, quick effect, you contribute one other level 7 or higher monster from your hand, special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters this turn except monsters with a level. If this card is special summoned, you can special summon one Exotic monster from your hand except Exotic Billis. Blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of in-hand effects. If it was special summon from deck, it'd be dope, but it's a lot of hand effects. Ugh. I'm hoping there are better cards in the archetype than this. A discard, a special summon, then special summon from hand again. So you have to have like perfect hand to use this thing. I guess there's some sort of search spell in here. It doesn't make it that bad. Carlos, yeah, I'm literally just going off of fucking whatever it is. The that one Master Duel archetype. I don't know about this card yet. I have to wait and see on it. And not super good on its own, but hopefully it's got some other stuff to make it good. During the main phase, quick effect, you can shoot one over level 7 or higher monster from your hand, special summon this card from your hand. Oh, do they all have this effect? Also, you can special summon first turn except monster with a level. If this card is special summoned, you can target one Exotic monster in your graveyard, except Exotic card, blah blah blah. Add it to your hand. Okay, so this card just adds back the thing you sent, right? That doesn't sound too bad. Depending on if you need this this special summon of a level 7, which you probably do. That doesn't sound too bad. Not sure what these cards are used for yet, but I assume it's something to do with the fact they're level 7. Alright, Mega Billis. During the main phase, quick effect, you can shoot one other level blah blah, so summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned when you control another Exotic monster, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard, banish it. Ooh. A banish for the Orcust cards. It's a tuner. Oh my. I control another one. Oh. I mean, I assume you're doing synchro summoning with this, right? So hopefully you would control another one. It's a tuna. I don't know. I have to wait and see again. These cards all look kind of cute, but I don't know what the hell they do yet. Like I don't know what the what this archetype does yet. Plus we're only in the normal, so hopefully the SRs and stuff will make these cards make a lot more sense. The one that recycles seems like it'd be okay anyway. And the special summon might be part of some combo. This might be a one-off remove the Orcus card when you're in that matchup sort of a thing, maybe. This is a hand trap? Hmm. Alright. The third Sarcophagus. This card can only be placed on the field by the effect of the first Sarcophagus. What the fuck does that mean? Okay, goated card already. Best card in the box so far. That effect is crazy. Alright, moving on. Oh wait, we're already onto it. The first Sarcophagus. During each of your opponent's end phases, place one face up place one card face up on your opponent's side of the field from your hand or deck in this order. The second Sarcophagus, the third Sarcophagus. If one Sarcophagus card is removed from your side of the field, all of them on your side of the field are sent to the graveyard. When you have all three Sarcophagus cards on your side of the field, send all Sarcophagus cards on your side of the field to the graveyard. Spirit Summon one Spirit of the Pharaoh from your hand or deck. Was that other dude the Spirit of the Pharaoh? Why am I bothering looking this up? This is clearly going to be a meme. Is that this thing? Oh, it's not. What the hell is Spirit of the Pharaoh? I assume it's a card coming up, so... Oh, he's right there. Alright, moving on. Clearly a meme card, boys. I'm probably only playing this thing, I'll be honest. Alright, the graveyard in the fourth dimension. Add 2 level monsters from your graveyard to your deck and shuffle it. Ugh, it's my deck? Ugh. This is literally just... Okay, cool. Spirit of the Pharaoh. Cannot be normal summoned or set or special summoned by the first Sarcophagus. Okay. When this card is special summoned, you can target any number of level 2 or lower zombie monsters in your graveyard, special summon those targets. That's it? Bro, you can't be serious. All this text, all this work, and I'm summoning this? Oh, what? Bro, if you're gonna print cards as a meme, at least make them kind of funny. Like, what is this? What? Who designs this? Actual KW. It's from 2004? I don't care what era it's from. Bro, the first released Yu-Gi-Oh cards were better than this junk. Alright, moving on. This card's a reprint, I think. Rise of the Salamangreat. Oh god, this is the ritual spell for Salad. This card can only be used to ritual summon any Salamangreat ritual monster. You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed the number of ritual monsters you ritual summon. If you control a fire link monster, you can also use one Salamangreat monster in your graveyard by shuffling them into the deck. If this card in its own position is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon one Salamangreat Emerald Eagle from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. Alright. So, there's a ritual card in here we'll talk about later, but at least the ritual spell, in a vacuum, just talking about just the ritual spell, isn't that bad. It's pretty good because it can use graveyard. So if we're just talking about the only thing we're talking about is just the ritual spell without ignoring the monster, the spell isn't that bad because it can use graveyard. Is this a continuous card? No, it's a ritual spell. We'll have to wait and see what the actual ritual monster does to determine whether or not this is a useful card or not. See, the actual spell doesn't seem that bad. Restoration of the Monarchs. Activate this card by targeting one monster in your graveyard with 2400 attack, blah 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 blah. Special summon it in defense position but negates effects. Also equip with this card. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. The created monster can be treated as 2 tributes for a tribute summon. You can activate 1 Restoration of the Monarchs per turn. So this card is interesting. The good news about this card is I'm pretty sure it's pretty good with the skill that puts them in the graveyard. Whatever it is, this thing. I thought it said spawn trap cards. Oh, I thought it said monsters as well. Never mind. Wait, no, does it? What does it say? Yeah, it does. Fuck. Never mind. Oh, it's a reprint? Yeah. I don't even know if you'd even use this in current Monarch. I thought the skill set in monsters, so that would make this card really cool, but yeah. The new tags? The new? I'm allowed to read reprints. Especially when I forget they even exist. That was the last time you guys had to read a Monarch card. That's the real question. I feel like it's been so long since I've even read a single Monarch card. I think the last time I read one was the Monarchs Erupt. When it was cringe and events for Master Duel. Like 6 months ago. Magio Shalion. Your opponent cannot select this card as an attack target while they control any spell trap cards. Okay. During battle between this card and a defense vision monster, defense is lower than the attack of this card. Okay, moving on. That card is a card of all time. You read the Marks and Progression series? Alright, so we've got Mr. Karate Man over here. If a monster is Pendulum summoned, return this card from the Pendulum zone to the hand. Okay. When this card is normal summoned, you can send to the graveyard all spell and trap cards your opponent controls in the same column as the cards in your Pendulum zones. Okay. That's okay. Does this count non-pendulum zones like in dueling? So we have like we're not using the skill and we're just placing it in zones. Does that count? Or do we have to specifically be using pendulum zones like with that are given to us via the skills? I don't even assume it counts. Okay. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card was normal summoned or flipped face up, return this card to the hand. Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because it says normal summon and this thing is level 5, so all of a sudden complete garbage. I thought it was level 4, read the level, was like, oh, you have to like tribute summon this thing. That's pretty cringe. Okay, moving on. Knight of Armor Dragon. You can ritual summon this card with Armor Dragon Ritual. At the start of the damage step, this card barrels a monster or special summon from the extra deck. You can shuffle that monster into the deck. Okay. You contribute this card, special summon one level 5 or higher wind dragon monster from your hand or deck. So I assume you grab the armed dragon monsters as the goal. There's no way we're using this in Armed Dragon, right? There's no way we're using the ritual cards. There's no shot we're using this. This is pretty similar to that Blue Eyes ritual card, huh? Same attack too. Oh, no wonder. They haven't put they changed the name from Paladin. Paladin's the fucking name of the other ones. Why is it Knight of Armor Dragon on it? Whatever. Alright. That's a reprint, that's a reprint, that's a reprint. Why are there guard dragons in here? Guitar Granadas due on number blah 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 blah. I was scared to read the end of that word because I thought I'd get banned. Oh god. If this card is special summoned, you can banish cards to the top of your opponent's deck equal to the number of water monsters you control. You can target one level 4 or lower water monster you control, increase its level by its original level. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Add graveyard, one monster on the field gains 100 attack for each currently banished monster until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect of blah blah once per turn. Okay, well, this is definitely a card of all time. I mean, maybe there's a water monster you want to have banished. Doesn't banish face down, right? I mean, maybe. Diva. Did he summons out Diva? Banish 2? Actually, doubles level of Diva too, right? It can target itself as well. Its card just doesn't seem that bad if you summon enough Diva. Summon off Diva, then you can use this effect to adjust the levels. I'm not sure if the banish effect from deck is going to be relevant, really, but the changing a level might be. Like you just summon some, like a level 8 synchro? Wait, is Diva level 3? Or is level 2? He's level 2, right? Yeah. You can also use the skill too, right? The skill that changes the level to level 4. Do you have a level 8? Do you make a level 12? If you wanted to? Oh, it does banish face down? That's kind of tragic. I wonder if this card will actually see play or not. It can make Diva with Diva. It makes a level 7 or a level 8. I think you want to play this card I think you want to play this as a 1 if you are going to play it with Diva. Unless you want to do I guess you do multiple times to duel with it. I don't know. I wonder if this card will actually see play or not. That seems pretty cool. This actually might be used in some Diva list for something. Not sure what in particular be making or what would be trying to go for, what combo you'd be going for, but it could be used. Alright, reprint. Guard Dragon Shield. You can target one dragon monster you control, it gains attack and defense equal to the total link ratings of the link monsters currently on the field times 100 until the end of your opponent's turn. You can only use effects once per turn, blah blah. If there's only one dragon monster you control be destroyed battle or card effect, you can send one normal monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard instead. Uh-huh. That is a load of hot garbage. Alright, moving on from that one. Guard Dragon Reincarnation. Fusion summon a fusion monster from your deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it that are all link monsters from your field or graveyard. Okay, that sounds kind of fun. Fusion summon using links to go into something? I don't know what we're summoning with this thing yet, but that does sound kind of fun. It is a quick effect. It is a quick play spell. No clue what we're doing with this thing yet, but hopefully it's something fun, because that sounds like a really fun card. Have to wait and see on this one. Alright. Guard Dragon Core Awakening. You can send one effect monster from your hand to the graveyard, spell someone level 4 or lower dragon nor monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard in defense position. You can use once per turn. Okay, why? Why am I discarding to summon a normal monster during my opponent's turn? Like, why exactly am I doing this? Is there a particular reason I want to discard to summon a normal monster during my opponent's turn? I don't know about this card. This card seems sus. Moving on, I think this one seems absolutely hot garbage unless there's some really, really specific reason for it. Very expected die. Deep Sea Sentry. That card art's adorable. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a water monster's effect, you can make your opponent banish one card from their hand face up. Oh, wait, holy shit, the Diva turn one for you make Dweller with this, detached on turn one with Dweller, banish a card. Oh, it's only until the end phase? I guess you can do it during their standby though, if you want to. That's so rude. -1 card, King W. If this card is spent or summoned, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard, then target one level 4 or lower one monster in your graveyard, except Deep Sea Sentry, add it to your hand. Wait, that's actually pretty good. Wait, what's with all these good Diva targets? What the hell? Wait, that's actually good. This is just you summon, you literally summon this thing with Diva, and you look at the top 2 cards and potentially grab just add a card to hand. It's literally a +1, right? That's dope. This means Diva doesn't even lose value on its summon, potentially. But if you're playing the way Water currently plays, where they're playing like 99 water monsters and 3 spell cards, that's actually sick. I need to make a channel on my do I need to make a channel on my Discord real quick. I need a water channel. Let me just make a water channel real quick. Water. There you go. It's actually crazy though. What the hell? This card seems like like no loss of value on Diva. What the hell? So now we've got this card, and we've got a potential other adjustment card. But I think I like this one way more. I love the idea of making Diva just gain value. Also, yeah, you can make it so that your opponent loses a card during their turn if you like. But I assume I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Next up, we have Destiny Hero Dunker. Oh my god. You can send one Destiny Hero card from your hand to the graveyard, inflict 250 damage to your opponent. Damn, he really do be dunking. The 250 damage dunk? God damn. Use Synchro Overtake on it. Wait, isn't that the Surge? Why DLM so slow today? Reveal one secret monster in your deck, choose one of the single materials, add it to your hand, or spell summon that target. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're locked into Synchro monsters, so no XCs, but I guess it's playable. Sort of. Eh. It kind of defeats the purpose of having the banish during your opponent's turn. The potential discard one for your opponent's turn sounds kind of cringe. But I guess if you're going for, like, the other dude, wherever he was, this dude, you wouldn't care anyway. Wait and see. Oh my god, another Deep Sea! God damn, another one! I didn't know Diva had its own archetype. It's kind of dope. If this card is if this card is added from the deck or graveyard to your hands by the effect of a water monster, potentially, look at your opponent's hand. Okay. If this card is spelled or summoned, you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, then target one level 4 or lower water monster in your graveyard, except Deep Sea blah blah blah. Spell or summon it, but negate its effects. I don't like this one as much. I don't like this one as much. I'm more hyped about this dude. Alright, passing through these now, we have Armed Dragon Lightning. If it, you can't use the effects as your slime engrave. You sure? Doesn't say then. Actually, maybe it can't. Anyway, moving on. Armed Dragon Lightning. If an armed dragon monster you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. You can target one armed dragon monster you control, then activate one of these effects. It gains attack equal to its level times 100. Add one armed dragon monster from your graveyard to your hand with a level less than or equal to that monster's. And that's it. Right. I mean, the add back from graveyard is pretty cool. That's basically about it. The attack boost is pretty average. You played Legend? I did not. I have no idea. Oh, this card seems pretty meh. Pretty meh. Win more card? I mean, it's not really much of a winning of anything if you're playing it, I imagine. Unless I don't know why you need this card unless there's some reason. The second effect is the only decent part. I mean, it is an effect of all time. Moving on. Armed Dragon Ritual. This card is used to ritual summon Knight of Armed Dragon. Was that this dude here? It is. If the two monsters from your hand or field is to level equal 4 or more, during your main phase, except to turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish monsters from your hand or face up field whose total levels equal 4 or more. Banish this card from your graveyard. If you do, special summon one Knight of Armed Dragon from your graveyard. Uh-huh. This seems hot garbage as well. Took a while to compute this card. I'm like, is this card at all worthwhile? No, even if the ritual monster's hot garbage, this card's hot garbage. Let's move on. Armed Dragon Flash. Spell summon level 3 Armed Dragon monster from your deck in defense position. Alright, do we need this? Is this something that's actually going to be cared for? I've never played Armed Dragon in my life. Do I care about the level 3? Do I care about ripping that out of my deck? And fuzz it up. We do care about that? This card is good. Very, very. We do care. Okay, okay. We do like yoinking things straight from deck, so if we actually need it, that sounds like a good card. It's a starter? You can use Flash during the draw phase to summon the OG Armed Dragon level 3. Then during the standby phase, send one level 3 to summon the level 5. There's some plays. So can you activate this on turn 1 to do the same play? There isn't a fucking draw phase on turn 1, right? Or is there? I don't even know if there is a draw phase. You don't draw a card, so does that mean it skips the draw phase? I actually don't even know. We can do it on turn 1? Okay, okay. That's pretty dope. If you have the toggle on. I think if this card becomes relevant enough, Konami would make it auto based. Like they did with the Harpy stuff. Yeah, how Harpy is slash, they just have the toggle on or it wouldn't work. I think they do the same for this card if it became relevant enough. They just make it so that the even with toggle off or toggle on auto it would probably work. I imagine. It'd be really annoying if I had to go through, like, point out in my video every time and go through all my. Because it's so annoying, my comment section. For that first time when Harpy was released, the amount of people that would type, like, how the hell are you getting Slash to work? Slash is bugged, not working. Why is my Slash not working? So I really hope they just make it so that it works. Another card that advises you is Nightbeam. Before the main phase asks you if you want to use any spell. Huh? Nightbeam? Why would Nightbeam advise you? That's not a quick play. Nightbeam's no quick play. Anyway, moving on. Armed Dragon Blitz. Target one Armed Dragon monster you control. Take one monster with the same name from your deck or graveyard and either add it to your hand or special summon it. Okay, ignoring summoning conditions, but the special summoned monster cannot attack directly. You activate once per turn. You can special summon monsters the turn you activate this card, except dragon monsters. Right. Oh, for your opponent's main phase. Either way. Alright. So is there a reason to grab two armed dragon monsters from your deck? Is there a reason for that? Don't your main armed dragons have, like, limitations? Like, you can't special summon it by other means or something? I guess not. Can't attack directly, but doesn't sound too bad. Just beat over monsters with it and attack directly with the other one. Exceeds plays? True. I thought the monster's not good enough without Exceeders. I thought the idea was just something up that big boss monster dude. He just kind of has a quick effect pop and all cool stuff on him. Unless there's a specific armed dragon Exceeds we care about. Rank 7 Odd Eyes. Alright, well, I don't know about this card yet. I have to wait and see, I guess. They have discard effects also. Oh, so you're grabbing it from the graveyard? Oh, it's adding to. Okay, yeah. Add it from your hand. Okay. Alright, next up we have Armed Dragon Thunderbolt. Target one armed dragon monster you control. It gains 1000 attack for each armed dragon monster in your graveyard with a different name, and at equal or lower level than the monster, but it cannot inflict battle damage to your opponent this turn. You banish this card from your graveyard, then target one armed dragon spell in a trap or spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use one armed dragon thunderbolt effect per turn, only once per that turn. 1000 per armed dragon. That's actually a fairly decent amount, but it's a trap card. Unfortunately, it is a trap card, so I believe it's garbage. But that attack boost is fairly large. The attack boost is permanent. I don't know. I don't think that's that relevant. Or, well, level 10 has an effect when it gains 10k attack. Oh, so you want to give it attack. I see. Well, that makes the trap card a lot more potentially necessary then. Depends on how good that level 10 effect is, but we'll have to wait and see. Because this card on its own seems hot garbage. But if the level 10 needs a 10k attack for a certain effect, maybe it's worthwhile. Destroys the entire field. Ooh. It's when you get it till your opponent's died of old age. I had to wait and see. This does read pretty memey, but if the level 10 is some banger effect that works and you need this trap card for it, maybe. Alright, on to Mr. Sumo. Yokozuna Sumo Spirit. Okay, this dude is a chunky boy. If a monster is Pendulum summoned, return this card from the Pendulum zone to the hand. When this card is normal summoned, you can send to the graveyard all monsters your opponent controls in the same column as the cards in your Pendulum zones. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card was normal summoned or flipped to face up, return this card to hand. I mean, that's a lot better because it returns things in the extra monster zones, right? It literally returns extra monster zones to graveyard, which returns to hand, sorry. It's into the graveyard. What am I even saying? It's into the graveyard. It's pretty cool, dude. He's way better in joints than in TCG for sure. The only issue is obviously it's on normal summon, but in pendulum decks, that's not too bad, because obviously you're doing a pendulum summon, so you'll have the material on field for a normal summon. But would you ever actually want to run this card? Probably not. Probably not. But who knows, maybe. The effect doesn't seem that bad. Taking up your normal summon's a little cringe. The scale's good at least. It's a scale 1, which is pretty good. But that's, I don't know what else it's got going for it. We don't know if he can use the pen skills yet. I mean, you probably the whole idea of the pen skills is he wouldn't put this wouldn't be in the right zone then, right? So why would you want to? You wouldn't have the pendulum columns lining up with the opponent's extra monster zone. Not the worst card. It's just probably not going to be that great in Duel Links, I imagine. All right. Use Ursarctic Mycopolar, a polar bear. Okay. During the main phase, quick effect, you contribute one other blah blah spell summon from your hand. If this card is spell summoned, you can add one. Ooh, add to hand? Is that an add effect? You have one Ursarctic monster from your deck to your hand. Is that a search? Is that a search effect I'm reading right there? You've got me interested, Mr. Polar Bear. That's what I like to read. Search effects. Alright. So I assume this card is definitely going to be played. We do like search effects in this game, and that is a search effect. Mad, and it's not an ultra rare? What? Alright, we do like search effects though. Big fan. We do like polar bears too. They're pretty cute, so not much else to say about this card. It seems pretty good. Moving on. Mega Polar. Oh my goodness, you got an upgrade. He's only one level higher. Dale. During the main phase, you can choose blah blah spirit summon, blah 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 blah. If this card is spirit summon where you control another Ursarctic monster, you can target one spell or trap card your opponent controls, destroy it. Ugh. Yeah, I mean it's got a lot of attack, but destroying back row, unless they're playing battle traps, is gonna be complete and utter dog shit because your opponent's gonna activate their back row in response to this card and you just lost a card. Like it doesn't really it's fairly not great. It's a quick effect. Huh? I mean, if you mean you can special summon this thing as a quick effect, sure. So I guess you summon it to remove some back row during your opponent's turn. They have like, I mean, that deals with like field spells, I guess. It can get rid of back row on turn 1. I guess that's fairly good. Your starting hand would be 4 cards, so you'd have to somehow get another Ursarctic monster on the field on turn 1. So you'd have to discard You have to discard one of your cards, special summon one. Discard your other card, special summon the other. That's 4 cards needed for this quick play to go off. God. I guess this thing does do a search though, so that does help with the situation. This one adds back, so that also helps with the situation. Looks like a heavy starter deck. I don't know about that one. We'll have to wait and see. Moving on. Mega Tennis. During the main phase, as a quick effect, contribute one other level 7 or higher monster from your hand. Spirit summon this card from your hand, blah blah blah. If this card Spirit summon control another Ursarctic monster, you can target one face up monster your opponent controls, change it to face down defense position. A potential quick effect during your wait, it just is a quick effect during your opponent's turn. I guess yeah, it's same issues as this one though. You just have to have. God, there's so many cards in hand. Surely this won't work well, right? Surely not. Will it? There's no way these quick effects are actually that relevant turn one. There's no like, it's just no way. 4 cards in hand needed, but I guess, like I said, this one can add, so it makes it 3. This one can add as well, so it makes it 3. What on earth? What is this deck? What on earth is this deck? The field spell? How's the field spell relevant in this situation? I'm talking about during your opponent's turn, during their turn, I want to use these guys' effects. How's that relevant to the field spell? Field spell might be on the field turn 1. Duel standby? Doesn't that stop you special summoning? I swear this thing stopped you special summoning. Okay. Only on your first turn, so you do it during their turn? That's kind of mean. Hey, the first turn of the field spell again? I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. I don't care about this. I'm talking about during your opponent's turn, on their first turn, quick effecting during their turn. Okay? So you haven't got a turn yet. You haven't played this card on the field. This could be in your hand, sure. But we're talking about on their first turn, they're summoning cards and you've got only cards in hand. That's what I'm referring to. Like where these cards could be like relevant as like Book of Mooning during your opponent's turn on turn 1. That's what I was talking about. Either way, moving on. Let's move on to the actual synchros. Cannot be synchro summoned. Okay, that's an interesting synchro monster. Can't be synchro summoned, okay? Must be special summoned from the extract by sending 2 monsters you control with a level difference of 7 to the graveyard. 1 level 8 or higher tuner, and 1 non-synchro tuner monster. Oh, 1 non-tuner synchro monster, sorry. If this card is special summoned, you can type 2 cards on the field and destroy them. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets an Ursarctic card you control, quick effect, you can shoot 1 monster from your hand or field to negate the activation. Okay. That is a card. It does have a pop 2. Popping 2 is kind of nice. And potential negation of targeting effects as well is also kind of nice. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. I don't really know if it's aiming to get too hyped over. Next card's relevant for it. Alright. Ursarctic Polari. Again, it cannot be synchro summoned. Must be special summoned from the extra deck by sending 2 monsters you control with the difference of the difference of 1 to the graveyard. So I guess it's like these dudes. If this card is spell summoned, you can activate one Ursarctic Big Dipper directly from your deck. Okay. You contribute one level 7 or higher monster, add to your hand, or special summon one Ursarctic monster from your graveyard. I see. So you're summoning this dude to go into the Synchros, right? Alright, he drives a 1-card Polari. Oh, okay. Oh no, I'm in the skill section. Oops. See, the annoying thing about the the righty lefty driver stuff though is that only one of them is actually like a starter, the other one isn't. The other one can search for the starter, but it's not actually a starter. God, why is the website so slow today? I'm gonna start using YGO Pro to searching up cards in a moment. Hello? There we go. So receive summon sets up any Synchro Tuner. If this card is normal summoned, you can special summon a lefty driver from your hand, deck, or graveyard. If this card is special summoned, you can make this card's level become a 3 until the end of this turn, which you wouldn't anyway. During your main phase, when this card is into the graveyard, you banish this from the graveyard to add this dude to your hand. So that is one way to get it out. Alright. This deck seems at least a hell of a lot of fun, but I have no idea what, like... I guess we're currently still only in the rare section, so maybe there's some, like, ultra stuff to look at that'll make this deck seem a whole lot more, insane. But currently, I'm not liking the, I don't know, it seems a lot pretty gimmicky. But I have to wait and see the stronger cards of the deck. But it seems pretty gimmicky right now. Does look like a lot of fun, though. I do like the idea of getting this thing, like, guaranteed turn 1. And potential to have a Book of Moon during your opponent's turn on their first turn. Sounds pretty dope, too. Anyway, moving on. We spent too much time looking at those cards. Talk Back Lancer. 1 level 2 or lower Cyberse monster. You contribute one other Cyberse monster and target one code talker monster in your graveyard with a different original name than that monster. Special summon it to your zone this card points to. Is that like relevant for any combos in particular? Maybe. I don't really see much of a point. I guess it brings back links, I guess. I guess it brings back links. You can do some link stuff with this, some dirty link plays. It's a U-Link card? Oh no. It's alright, we're playing Monarchs. We don't need the extra monster zone. We're Monarch gamers now. Very good, small lad. Seems pretty good for doing certain linky stuff. Oh, he's a Link 1 as well. I didn't even notice. I literally didn't even notice. Link 1s are generally pretty good. We do like Link 1s. Yeah, it brings back Link 3 code talkers. Yeah. So I'm going to access code talk. Oh, wait. Alright, well, seems pretty good. Not sure how impactful it'll be in general. Probably not too impactful, but seems like it's better than the other Link 1 they're all playing anyway. This is definitely better than Link Disciple, right? So, although I guess Link Disciple isn't specifically a level 2 or lower, I don't even know what Link Disciple's requirements are. Alright, moving on. Tenacity of the Monarchs. Reveal one monster in your hand with 2400 attack, blah blah blah. Add one Monarch spell a trap card from your deck to your hand. Okay, searches. Oh, this is actually a search for this then. So you have 3 of this in your deck already, and you have 3 searches for it. So that's gonna be 6 and 23 at like a minimum, depending on how many cards you have to run for the requirements. Depending on how big your deck is. 6 and 23 to open this thing actually isn't that bad. That's pretty high, isn't it? It's like still that's still close to like 70%. I think it's still close to like 70. Yeah. Yeah, 73. Okay, 73% chance to open the insane draw spell for Monarch with this thing. That doesn't sound like a brick fest to me. That sounds like drawing cards, and we like drawing cards. Okay, well, that seems pretty good. I assume you're playing 3 of this then. I assume. Card seems dope. This is a reprint. Salamangreat, and okay, this is the Salamangreat Link monster. So I've never seen Salad ever summon a Link monster in Master Duel, so what about the rest of the 27%? I mean, don't worry about chat, don't worry about it. You can just summon this card with Rise of blah blah. When this card's ritual summoned using Salamangreat Emerald Eagle you control, do you destroy all spell summon monsters your opponent controls using Emerald Eagle? Which one's Emerald Eagle? Is that itself? It is. Once per turn, you attribute one Salamangreat Link monster. This turn, this card gains this effect. As style damage step, this card battles an opponent's monster. Destroy that opponent's monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half that monster's original attack. Right. Okay. So I assume we're not playing this in Salad, right? Bold guess. We're not playing this in Salad. Sorry, I didn't mean the link. I meant Ritual. Sorry, it's fucking 1:40 a.m. Right? Leave me alone. Stop bullying me, chat. Yeah, I've never seen science do it. Conduct a link song before. How ludicrous! Surely this isn't played though, right? This cannot be played. There's no way. There's no shot we're playing this card. Alright, moving on. Return of the Monarchs. You can spell summon monsters from the. You cannot spell summon monsters from the extra deck. Okay, don't care. When you tribute summon a monster, you can activate one of these effects. Add from your deck to your hand one monster with 2400 attack, blah blah. The different name from that tribute summoned monster. Okay. Add from your deck to your hand one monster with 29 blah blah. Okay. The tribute summoned monster must be face up on the field to activate and resolve this effect. I mean, this lets you search for the Mega Monarchs by using the Mini Monarchs, right? This seems like the sort of card you don't have as a one-of in your deck, so I don't really want that many of this. This seems like a really... This card's like a really good way to generate value over time, but it's kind of a card that's like... It makes your hand a brick if you're playing it. Unless if your hand isn't a brick and you have this thing on top of whatever you're doing, you're just going to generate a shit ton of value. But if this thing does clog up starting hands if they're already pretty bricky, which we are sort of worried about Monarchs being a bricky deck, so I don't even know if you'd want to play this. You do generate a shit ton of value from it though, if it does stay on the field for a while. If he gets booked, you're done for. I mean, if he gets booked, you're just losing that one search, which is fine. It's pretty whatever. It's not like you're conducting a second normal summon that turn anyway, right? I mean, maybe you were, but I don't know. Not sure about this card. It sort of depends on how the deck turns out, whether it'll be too bricky to run something like this. Because like I said, it does generate a shit ton of value if it does get off. Alright. Mystical Fairy Elfuria. Elfuria. Okay. Once per turn, you can reveal one wind monster in your hand. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, neither player can Exceed summon using monsters with a different level from the revealed monster as Exceed material. What kind of a side deck bullshit is this? Where are you? Why? Why does this card exist? I mean, it doesn't work in Speedroid, right? Because they have like some weird requirement stuff on it, or does it work in Speedroid just as a side deck card? I just imagining some dumbass playing this in Speedroid in like a tournament because they know they're against an Xyz deck. Activate this, make your opponent absolutely hate himself. They have like weird requirements in Speedroid though for the skill to work. That you can't use. Can you use spellcaster stuff? I don't even know. I guess actually, isn't Win a spellcaster anyway? Actually, I think you probably can. Can't summon it. We don't care about summoning it. Actually, you do care about summoning it. Never mind. Let's move on. Okay, moving on. Which one was this one? Oh, it's okay. All right. Deep Sea Repertoire. Deep Sea Repertoire. That sounds about right, chat. Surely that's gonna be how to pronounce that. All right. So importantly, like Grand Harrier pointed out earlier, this thing has Deep Sea Diva in its text, so it does mean Deep Sea Diva is now searchable off that one spell card, but that does lock you into synchros. Once per turn as a quick effect, you can discard one level 4 or lower water monster. This card gains 800 attack until the end of this turn. If this synchro summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one level 5 or higher water monster in your graveyard except Deep Sea Repertoire, special summon it in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters the rest of this turn except water monsters. Alright. So this card is really good if you get it along with another synchro, because then it brings back that other synchro, right? So if you're doing some big combo turn, this card can bring back a big boy. As to what that combo would be, I have no effing clue yet, but I guess it also can bring back the mermaids, the big mermail dudes. Someone will come up with some cool combo for this. I have to wait and see what the actual how it's actually played, but it seems like a pretty good card. If not just for the search, like Harry I mentioned, but it's kind of weird using it for a search because the current versions of Water and stuff like to do link summons and stuff. It seems kind of bad to remove that special summon link thing from the deck. I don't know. It seems kind of weird. Also, you can't use like Xyz monsters and use Territory of the Sharks, that kind of broken stuff. Can't go for Dwellers, which seems really interesting, not playing Dweller. So, not sure if this is going to be an overtake deck or not. We have to wait and see, I reckon. Honestly, hoping it's not an overtake deck because I actually want to play Xyzes, but we'll see. Deep Sea Aria. Banish one water monster from your graveyard. Add one level 4 or lower sea serpent monster from your deck to your hand. Ooh, that's a search for Diva. But you have to get a water monster in graveyard for that to work. I guess the Mermail discards do that. The Shuffler doesn't, right? The Shuffler just shuffles 3 cards back in. Send Frog, Banish Frog, Summon Diva. Mm. This card seems pretty goddamn good. Is there, other than Diva, are there any other like Sea Serpent targets we could grab for this? Like special summonable things? Like aren't the isn't there Mermails that when added to hand just special summon themselves? Pretty sure there are, right? Wish the website wasn't behaving so slowly today. It's making it really hard to look things up. So I'm pretty sure that there's that one Mermail when added to hand, right? I don't know if that's has to be added by a specific effect or not. I wanted to see. So if it's not, that's a really good search off this. Just search for a special summon. Alright, this website is hella kill right now, apparently. Alright, have to worry about that stuff later, I guess. Either way, sounds like it's a potentially good card. Just depends on what we're going to use for discards, if we're going to need discards, if we're going to play the Synchro version using that other searcher, using the Deep Sea Diva in the card text. So you won't need like another search. I don't know. And it's certainly good follow up anyway, so. Moving on. Crystal Girl. Okay, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can activate this effect. During the end phase of this turn, add one level 5 or higher water monster from your deck to your hand. If you control a level 5 or higher water monster and this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, I mean, generate some value. It can potentially come back to the field. But I don't think we care about this card. I mean, I can just use. I should probably just use YGO, bro. Everything's just low. Everything's just being slow. Mermail. What are you? Is it you? No, is it this one? When this card is added from your deck or graveyard to your hand by card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, and it's a Sea Serpent, right? No, it's Aqua. Damn, that ruins my fun. Never mind. Never mind, it's an Aqua. I thought it was a Sea Serpent. Feels bad, man. Alright, yeah, we're skipping this card, I'm not using it. Crusadia Regulex, a card that's relatively dangerous to add. 2 effect monsters. This basically completes the Crusadia's sort of standard combo now. So gains attack equal to the combined original attack of all monsters card points to. Monsters card points to cannot attack. If an effect monster is better summoned to a zone this card points to, you can add one Crusadia spell and trap card from your deck to your hand, meaning this card can now be used as part of your standard Crusadia combo to grab the field spell, which is a very scary thing because it means you can now absolutely slap everybody. It can now be used to grab the card that makes them unaffected by things, or it can grab the card that makes them just absolutely belt everything on the field. But I guess Crusadia hasn't really been doing a whole lot since the Mech Knights got removed, so we'll see if they're able to do anything now. I don't have any painting. I don't think there's any other sort of relevant Crusadia cards, right? Or is it spell card only? Spell or trap. What's this do? Special summon. Gives you a search, I guess, if you want to. I think I prefer to grab the thing that makes my monster immune, though. But anyway, Crusadia can still play Mech Knights. Yeah, Mech Knights have got their own limit 3 problems, right? Like their own in archetype limit 3 issues. Where they've got multiple limit 3s inside of their own archetype. Which is why that deck hasn't exactly been seeing that much usage. Alright, moving on. Armed Dragon Thunder level 7. This card's name becomes Armed Dragon level 7 while it's on the field or in the graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Armed Dragon level 7 once per turn. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, send this card from your field to the graveyard, and if you do, Spirit Summon level 10 or lower Armed Dragon monster from your hand or deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a Dragon monster's effect, you can add one Armed Dragon card from your deck to your hand. Ooh. Search effect. Because they like to discard, right? I see. So this thing in combination with this thing is a search. So you have this guy on field and use this thing's effect to grab another one. You discard this card and you get a search out of it. Okay, well I assume this card's necessary anyway as part of the combo, so I assume we're using this thing. It doesn't really have any like any sort of effects to talk about though, other than that it's special summoning out your dude, so sure. Alright, then we have the level 5 variants. This card's name, blah blah. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard. It's exactly the same, right? Just different level. You have one level 5 or higher wind dragon monster from your deck to your hand. Alright. Well, I like the amount of value these guys generate off discards. It means the discard effects of these cards are actually not too bad, depending on how many armed dragons you're running. Does mean the fact the skills adding 4 more of these to the deck does make it a little bit less cringe, because it means those cards can just be good discard fodder, potentially. Still not sure how good this deck is, though, as we haven't read their boss monster, so hopefully the boss monster makes it so that it's worth playing. Because the actual cards, I mean, it seems pretty easy to get into their boss monster, it's just depending on how good the boss monster is now. And that's a reprint. Alright, our first SR card. Doesn't the skill add the OGs? Oh, so only the OG ones? Oh, they're not even good discard fodder then. Ugh. God. Maybe we are actually using the other level of skill. You can use level 5 to search Dragunity Armagram, who can negate. Armagram? Arma... Ah. Ram. This dude? Uh... He's a pretty big boy. He's a pretty big boy himself. That is true. Might be a combo. Alright, moving on. Ursarctic Radiation. Activate this card by placing 7 counters on it. Each time an Ursarctic monster is special summoned from your hand or extra deck, you can remove 1 counter from this card, draw 1 card. Sure? Is that a once per turn? You can remove 1 counter from this card, draw 1 card. Once per turn during the end phase, you can target 1 Ursarctic card in your graveyard, shuffle into the deck. Wait, it's not... Where's the once per turn? Wait, where's the once per turn, guys? Guys? Hello? Uh, 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 that's a lot of cards. Oh my god. Draw 7 a deck with no space for text. I mean, your entire deck is a hand trap. They have they are text themselves. They are a DD Crow and they are a Book of Moon. What the? Like, this card's kind of crazy. But consider this, why would Konami give a deck a draw 7? I mean, in TCG it sounds garbage, but I mean, in Duel Links, you open this card 60% of your games, like, guaranteed, just as a 3 of. There was no searching for this thing, right? This card isn't searchable, surely. Or are we just playing triple into not into the void, playing triple like random draw cards just to try to get a hold of this thing? It is searchable? What's searching for it? Have you not come across the thing that searches for it yet? Because that's a monster. It's not searchable? You'd hope not, Jesus. Searchable an opponent's turn? I don't know what the hell I'm reading here though. What the fuck is this card? Alright, well. Uh this will certainly be a deck of all time. I don't know what to think about this deck. This deck's gonna be like all monsters, your one field spell, your one copy, your 3 copies of this, and that's the deck. Did Synchro can search it? Didn't this search the field spell? No, this only searches out the field spell. Let's spend this one. Or is the one coming up? Oh, the one that's coming up, maybe? Alright. Well, next up we have Extra Hero Wonder Driver, 2 hero monsters. If a hero monster is normal spell or summon to your zone this card points to, target one Polymerization spell card, one Fusion spell card, or one Change spell card in your graveyard, set that target. You can activate the effect of blah 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 once per turn. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, or if this card's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to your graveyard, spell or summon one hero monster from your hand. So this is a great way to get your Mask Change back. But you'll notice it's an extra hero. I think that means you. Wait, can you even play this thing with a new skill? Wait, I think the skill lets you summon anything from extra deck, right? I don't even remember. Huh? Reback machine? Huh? The hell? Anyway. You can also put normal size of monsters during the main phase except Destiny Hero monsters and monsters summon. Oh, so you can just summon anything from the extra deck. Never mind. So you can summon this thing if you like. Alright, well, we do like having the ability to grab back potential mask changes. That's pretty good. Or polys if you need a poly. Will this be all that impactful though? Probably not. Yeah, it probably won't change a whole lot. Yeah, he's getting support every 2 months. Yep, and you have to go through like 72 boxes to grab the whole archetype. But at least to be fair, like I guess this one's mostly meant to be more Destiny hero support sort of stuff. So it's a little bit different. Yeah. Moving on, this card's pretty good. You're probably running it in most hero decks, I imagine, that play Mask Change. I'm not sure if you'd really care too much about just the standard, like, elemental hero decks you've currently got with Poly. I don't think you care too much, but if you're playing Mask Change, you probably want to run this card, I imagine. I don't really think I care too much about Poly going back. Like, I think pretty sure the extra deck for hero is already pretty difficult to find more slots for, especially considering they are running things like Super Poly. It's good to have good targets for it. So, and recycle Miracle Fusion. I mean, it does. I know it's really hard to like because the current wherever it is hero deck. Last time I looked on here, there wasn't one. Probably still isn't. Okay. Uh, uh. Is the right skill? Yeah, whatever. Like their extra deck is hella stacked. I guess you can cut one of these. Sounds rough. You don't really want to get rid of too many of your super poly targets, but I guess you don't need the Earth one. I guess there's a bit of space. There's a little bit of space actually, not more than I thought. That's favorite jewel. It's not even the right one. And I'm getting confused of which one's which. I guess there's a lot more space than I thought there was. You can probably run it. All right. Next up, we have Ursarctic Septentrion. Cannot be synchro summoned. Must be special summoned from your extra deck by sending 2 monsters you control with a level difference of 7 to the graveyard. 1 level 1 tuner and 1 blah blah blah. Negate the effects of face up monsters without a level that was special summoned from the extra deck. Well, that's not even like a that's just like a continuous effect. So it's a floodgate. Okay. I mean that floodgate's a lot of cards in the game that deals with your certain Orcus deck pretty easily. If your opponent spell summons a monster except during the damage step, you can add one Ursarctic card from your deck to your hand. But it's only summoned from the wait. So it doesn't count if they summon from graveyard. So it doesn't actually help Orcus. It doesn't actually stop Orcus too much because they just bring back the Dingirsu and still remove. Anyway, if your opponent special summons a monster, you can add one Ursarctic card from your deck to your hand. So you can search for this, but like you said, during the opponent's turn. Give them a skill drain. Hmm. I mean, Scartsy's pretty good. Is this deck really just going to be a 60% of the time draw this, win a game, rest of the time pray to God sort of a deck? Like, how many draw cards can we realistically put in the deck that allows to get this more often? Because you can't play Into the Void. Yeah, but you know what card this what archetype this card doesn't affect? Monarch, baby. Monarch best deck. Let's go. Tier 0. Blue boy? I mean, probably. There's no normal summon, right? Like, this deck doesn't have a normal summon. Can we actually play Spellbook? God, that sounds so weird. There's no normal summon in this deck, right, Chad? We haven't come across one yet. The normal summon is Drive? Who? Mate, here's Driver. That's something we haven't come across yet. Nope. My brain smell or what? Oh, righty Driver. What's better though? righty lefty driver to try and get this guy out turn one, or we just play spellbook and try to get a hold of this thing more often. Because I don't know about you, but drawing 7 cards sounds pretty good to me. I don't know. Thinking. Why not both? Because the issue with running both is you start getting close to a point where you're having 2 normal summons. And that's annoying. So you can't summon both of them. And they just become bricks. I really want to try out the spellbook idea. That sounds fun as. Just randomly just playing spellbook and let's just draw 2. That's very silly. Very, very silly. This deck is so hard to review. Like, I'm actually trying to consider in my head, is this shit actually good, or is it just complete, utter gimmick bait? Like, reading the stuff and how powerful some of these cards are is just screaming at me it must be a giga gimmick and just must be complete garbage. Just because you can't have a card that literally draws 7 and a potential skill drain in a deck that isn't complete, and the entire archetype is like a hand trap that isn't complete garbage. And they're not even ultra rares. Like, this isn't something. I guess there's an ultra rare coming up. Like, how bait is this? I mean, I kind of want it to be bait because I think, like, at first I'll enjoy it playing it, be like, wow, this is so fun. Then as the weeks go on, if it became like a meta deck, I'd be like, wow, I'm getting skill drained. My opponent opened the lucky fucker opened the the radiation. Now he's drawing 7 cards. He's pissing me off. Let's move on. Liliona, the wondrous Magistus Witch Wardrobe. 2 level 4 spellcaster type monsters, blah blah blah. You attach 1 material from this card, spell summon Magistus monsters from your deck. Also, you cannot spell summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Magistus monsters. Okay. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Okay. I mean, this is just a card you're guaranteed to run at least one of, right? Spell summoning from deck sounds great. Being able to banish from, or potentially negate something that might be annoying sounds great. Yeah, just potentially allows you to grab 2 Xyz monsters on 1 turn instead of just 1, or grabs a fusion summon instead of 1, whatever. For sure. I skipped out Magistus too, so you won't be seeing a Magistus video from me using this card. I won't be using it. Sure. Not much else to say about this card. You're definitely going to run it. Alright, Nekroz of Clausalis. You can ritual summon this card with any Nekroz ritual spell. Must be ritual summoned. You can only use each of the effects of Nekroz once per turn. You can discard this card, add 1 Nekroz spell and trap card from your deck to your hand, so already off to a good start. Quick effect, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field that will special summon from the extra deck. Until the end of this turn, that target's attack becomes 0, or that target's effects are negated. Damn, it would be a shame if we were playing a certain archetype that's not using the extra deck. Monarch's actual Giga Chad. Alright, well, this deck now has a negate for turn 1. Is that better than the destroy that it already had, though? It's already had a quick effect destroy, right? But I guess you might be able to summon both. And it's the searcher. Yeah, where's the Nekros trap card? XD. This makes Nekros more consistent. I'm just wondering if we're bothering to summon this on turn 1 or not. It seems like a good thing to summon on turn 1. You mean summon multiple cards on turn 1, but I think if I had a choice between the pop card or the negate, I'd certainly go for the pop, right? Which one even does the pop? It's the is the pop a hand trap? How does it even work? It's this card, right? No, it's not. Oh yeah, this is the pop. I think I prefer this thing on field than this one. I mean, you get both, it'd be sick. I don't know how much resources that takes. If you can do both, that'd be dope. And it requires a discard. Yeah, but I think that the removal is much more valuable than the negate of an extra deck card. No, let's wait and see. Obviously, this will make Nekroz or Nekroz is already looking pretty good, and this will make it a lot better. So, Nekroz at bare minimum will be a playable deck. I'm not sure if this is enough to make the deck like top tier or anything. I think the deck is mostly the same, but maybe it'll be a bit. It will definitely be a bit stronger. And Nekroz is already a pretty decent deck list, so maybe it's enough to sneak into tier 3. I doubt it'd be much higher than that if it even does make tier 3, though. Very strong card, though. Should be good. You can special summon it with Trishula if you send a level 12 with Scope. Huh? I'm lost. Kaleidoscope? The ritual spell? Uh, oh, so he goes with the other one. It's only level 3. Okay. Sure, sure. Alright, I don't think we need to talk much more about this card though. It's obviously pretty good, so let's move on. Kiraz the Light Monarch. When this card is normal special summoned, you can target up to 2 cards on the field, destroy those targets. Okay. Is he a Mega Monarch or not? He's not, right? Wait, when special summoned? Huh? Wait, what do you mean when special summoned? That's not Monarch! Excuse me, Konami? Why is this activating on special? Each player can draw 1 card for each of the cards they control that was destroyed by this effect. Excuse me, Konami, why is this special summoning activating its effect? I demand a fucking refund. This is what happened to Monarchs, man? They fell off. This is not a Monarch, exactly. Who designed this card? Can we actually like get just a vote to veto this card? Just nobody play it. How dare you disgrace Monarchs like that? I'm triggered. I'm triggered, Konami. How dare you? That actually disgraceful. But speaking of, is this card actually good for the deck though? I mean, sure. I mean, there's probably some revives in Monarch that could use this. Although I think one of them we looked at earlier was that negated it. So I don't know if that's a. I think this one negates it. It does. So I don't think there's any other sort of revive effects, but if there are, cool, it might be good. Destroy your own cards to draw some stuff, I guess, if you want to do that. Pop the continuous after searching it for a draw. That sounds dope. That does sound dope. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Alright, well, that's pretty cool. Kind of dumb that's working on a special summon, though. That's kind of silly, but anyway. Is that a reprint? It is. This one. Kai, then Kendo Spirit. If a monster is pendulum summoned, return this card, blah blah blah. When this card is normal summoned, you can choose one card in your pendulum zone and send to the graveyard all cards your opponent controls in the same column as that card. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card was normal summoned or flipped face up this turn, return this card to the hand. Right. On normal summon, sounds pretty garbage. Similar reasoning to all the other ones, I guess. Yeah, not much to see here. It's not awful, but I don't think it's that exciting. Does can potentially target the like I said, with same as the other card, but can hit the extra monster zones though, which kind of makes it sort of cool. Anyway, we've got Dad, then we've got Cyberse Gadget. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one level 2 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position, but its effects are negated. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you special summon one gadget token. You can use each effect once per turn. Hmm. It doesn't sound too bad. It's a Cyberse too. Sounds pretty good. See, a Cyberse's version of Junk Synchron right here. It does already have to have a Cyberse engraved to use its effect though, and it is on normal summon specifically. I'll go into the new Link one, since level 4, unless you mean the token? Summon the tuner. I'm pretty sure this is being more of a Link card than a tuner card. Yeah, obviously it can. Send level 2 with the Searcher. Alright, well I assume there might be somewhere that will play this. Maybe some sort of code talker deck might try to stuff this in there somewhere. If it needs it. It's literally the it's like I said, it's a junk synchron for Cyber, so wait and see. I like the idea that it summons a token afterwards. The token seems pretty sick. This thing alone already makes like a Link 2. Then you have to get a free token for a Link 3. Just a playing the card. Yeah, it works very well with Dot Scraper. Very well. Alright, well, this card seems pretty cool. Not a huge Code Talker player, but we'll see if maybe it'll come up at some point. Oh god, do I have to read it? Oh, can I skip it? Armed Dragon level 10 white. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned by its own effect. You can banish armed dragon monsters from your field and or graveyard whose total levels equal 10. Special summon this card from your hand. Then you can add one white veil from your deck to your hand. Oh god. You can only use this effect once per turn. You take no effect damage at the start of the damage step. If this card attacks, you can destroy one card on the field. Right. This is a card that I hopefully won't be running. But I really hope I'm not running this. God, I really don't want to play this card. God, I don't want to search for a white veil. Oh, please, please don't do it. Don't make me search for white veil. Please. I don't want to search for white veil. Oh, God. Alright, we'll see if we need. If we'll actually see if we'll play this card or not. There's a good chance we won't be, and I really hope it isn't that chance. God, I don't want to play something that searches White Veil. Fucking White Veil. Alright, this one. Moving on. World Chalice Guard Dragon Almajuk. 3 Link monsters, super poly target. Must be either fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by tributing the above cards you control. Okay. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. When an attack is declared involving this card and the opponent's Link monster, you can banish one Link monster with the same Link rating as that monster from your field or graveyard, destroy that monster. If you do inflict damage to your opponent equal to half its original attack. Okay. 3000 attack, generic, that can stuff into any Link deck you feel like it for a potential 3k attack everything. Dragon's Mirror? I mean, I guess. Not quite the use I was thinking of. But you could play Dragon's Mirror if you wanted to. You don't think it should be an ultra rare? I mean, this card is realistically the same as like the old Trishulas and stuff. I can see this having a few places it could be used, but it's kind of odd because like if you have 3 Link monsters on field, when do you ever want to get rid of them for this card? Because the old Trishula was used in case you got Book of Moon. You can't Book of Moon a Link monster, so like that just removes that use. You know? So it's probably not going to see that much play because there's not really that many situations where it seems super win more to think, oh, I've got 3 Link monsters on the field. I can't deal with my opponent, so I'm going to summon out this thing. Like, you really can't deal with your opponent with 3 on the field? Like, what 3 Link monsters have you got that are that garbage, you know? Maybe it is being used with literally Fusion, Dragon's Fusion, whatever it's called. Yeah, it's like a super poly target. If you have 3 monsters, you already won. True. Alright. Well, moving on. I don't think we're playing this thing. Alright. Is this the final one? Oh, it's the final. It's okay. The final yeah, Ursarctic Departure. The final Ursarctic card. Is this archetype going to be Giga Broken? This is the ultra rare for it. This is better than a draw 7. What do you do? Discard 1 card. Add 2 Ursarctic monsters from your deck to your hand. Okay, it's a search. We do like searches. If you attribute a monster to activate an Ursarctic monster's effect, except to turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So you can use this during your opponent's turn in the graveyard. Okay, we have a search for 2 cards. Only monsters though. Can't search for this dude. Don't get too excited. But imagine, chat. You activate this, discard 2. Then you activate Spellbook, draw 2 cards. You've already thinned the deck of 2 cards. Surely we hit it. Surely we guaranteed hit this card at that point. Surely. What are the odds of that? I think it's gonna be completely inaccurate math, but fuck it. So you starting hand, we opened 4 cards, we didn't hit it, so we got 16 left in deck. Then we've used this thing to draw another 2 cards out of the deck, so we're at 14. Then we're using the spell book to search for a card from the deck, so that's going to be 13. Then that spell book searches another card from the deck, that makes it 12. And then we're drawing 2. So on top of the already 60% to open it, can we hit it? What are the odds? Ooh. Oh, it's getting pretty juicy. That was like best case scenario though. But god damn. Maybe spellbook is the way. Fuck lefty righty, let's play spellbook. I like drawing cards. I want my boy. Activate this instant cosmic cyclone. Leave the game. What is this deck, man? This deck sounds like the biggest bait of all time. Surely this shit is a bait. It should has to be a bait. It's got to be a bait. There's no shot this deck is good. It has so many good cards, but my god, it has to be a bait. There's no way. There's just no way. It has to be shit. It's gotta be. There's just no way. I want to try it so badly. I want to know if this shit is actual hot garbage or not. I need to know. I actually just need to know. Alright. I just noticed something. The Sea Serpent deck hasn't got a new SR or Ultra Rare. Like, so if you're just playing Sea Serpent stuff, you're literally just getting, like, a free box for you. That's pretty pog, actually. Yeah, you're just getting a free box. Water Exceeds players or just Water Synchro players rejoice, I guess. Yeah, moving on. Preparation of Rites. Add one level 7 or lower ritual monster from your deck to your hand, then you can add one ritual spell from your graveyard to your hand. So this card is going to be played in a lot of ritual decks that can run it, because essentially, if you're playing Nekros and you're already playing like a 3 of, you could cut one of the 3 ofs and play this, and it just becomes, yeah, an extra copy of that 3 of, or just a searcher for any other card in the deck. So it means instead of playing like a bunch of 3 ofs, you're generally just going to play a bunch of like 2 ofs, I think. At least that's how I think it's going to work in a 20 card game, because like a deck like Nekros, it's already got a billion searches anyway. So like, you're just playing this for the added value of adding back ritual spells and stuff. How many copies do you need to run of this? I don't think it'll be that many. Like, honestly, if you're playing Nekros, you probably don't actually need any copies of this, like, realistically. You literally don't need any copies of it. It's just, you might as well be playing copies of it, because it's not even a once per turn. So you might as well play this over other ritual monsters, over other copies of ritual monsters. Cyber Angel Tier 0. I mean, this thing would literally, this thing would literally be like a 12 in Cyber Angel, and you just cut one of your Benton and one of your, whatevers. But it's super dependent. I think that's how this card's going to be played. I don't know. Definitely a good card. We'll see how many we need to run or how many people are going to be running. I don't think I'm pretty sure it's going to be like one of those cards you just sort of stuff in though. Like I don't see this being like a 3 of in most decks. Maybe it would. It could probably be a 3 of. I don't know. We'll see. Can't search Dakini. We don't. Yeah, that's not. Cybrader does not care about searching Dakini. We can search that card fairly easily. We care about searching for the Egerton and the Benton. All right. Wait, this isn't a reprint? Oh, I thought we already had this in the game. Ida, the Heavenly Squire. If this card is normal summon, you can special summon one monster with 800 attack, blah, blah, from your deck in defense position, which will be the other, Squire dudes, whatever they're called. Blah, blah, blah. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished Monarch spell trap cards, add it to your hand. So this card summons out one of your other dudes from the deck, which gives you an extra normal summon, then you have 2 tributes to summon out a big boy. Is generally the goal. And then you add back one of your banished Monarch cards. Oh yeah, 1 for 1 target as well. I mean, sure. I'm not gonna lie though, chat. I'm looking at these cards and I'm thinking, isn't Monarch still gonna suck? Does Monarch still have like no real disruption for your opponent's turn? Like, this deck still has like no disruption for the opponent's turn, right? They have now, do they? What have they got? What, this guy? Are we special summoning him? This is a when effect. It's good for S-Force. Check the net card. Okay, okay, okay. Enter the Heavenly Monarch. You can tribute this card by tributing one tribute summoned monster. If this card is tribute summoned, you can send 2 Monarch spell and trap cards with different names from your hand or deck to the graveyard. If you do, special summon one monster with 2500 or more attack and defense from your deck, which is this man, I guess. I'll return to hand during the end phase. During your opponent's main phase, if this card is in the hand, you can banish one Monarch spell or trap card from your graveyard. Immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon this card. Oh, okay, so that's the goal. You have this thing in hand. Oh god. And then the removal is this? This thing's a when? You can miss timing, can't you? And it gives your opponent a draw. Is that your removal? None of the others work on special summon, right? Oh god. Battle phase, yeah, we're gonna wait to the battle phase to use this, because this card will your little tributes will definitely still be on the field by the battle phase. You're trying to turn Monarchs into a battle phase deck? Jesus. It's not. It's too away. Oh god, giving your it can be potentially draw too. It can be pretty devastating. It's like, hey, here's 2 cards from that draw, and we're talking about a win effect. Why you win? Why are you not if? Or at least be mandatory. Oh god. Surely that isn't the combo. There's got to be a better play than that. Anyway, moving on. I've already lost interest. All right. Destiny Hero Dystopia. 2 Destiny Hero monsters. If this card is special summoned, you can target 1 level 4 or lower Destiny Hero monster in your graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half that target's attack. If this card's current attack is different from its original attack, except during the damage step, quick effect, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. And if you do, this card's attack becomes equal to that card's original attack. Oh, this card's attack becomes equal to it? Ugh. Why? Ugh. You have to summon this thing in defense? Ugh. Alright, well, the good thing about this card is its attack thingy, it's, because of its level and the skill, this thing's going to be, have an attack boost when it's on the field, so it's always going to be active if you're using the skill. Oh, this card's original attack. Oh, okay, I read that wrong. So I thought it was yoinking your opponent's attack. I read that wrong. You're right. So yeah, because the skill basically means it will always have an attack boost, so it'll always be active. There it is. Um, These only effects which have normal summon a Destiny monster. All monsters in the field with level 8 or higher gain 200 attacks. So you can use this on turn 1 to give your monster the attack boost. So then it goes to the opponent's turn and you're able to remove stuff. What's it require? It requires 2 Destiny heroes, which is very easy to do with a skill which gives you Poly and Malicious, right? So just literally any Destiny hero and you have it, right? This deck just seems like a back row deck, though. I'm gonna be honest, chat. If you're hoping for a really exciting deck list from this, I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be a back row deck with some mask changes, maybe. Are we even playing mask change in this? Do we care enough? Then we just play a bunch of back row in this thing for removal. This thing just gonna be a fucking back row deck. What was the conditions? It was just you can only play Destiny Hero stuff from main deck, right? Okay. I mean, I'll be honest though, it doesn't seem that bad. The fact your skills is giving this thing to you like guaranteed just for free. Was there any like once per turn requirements on this? It's once. You can only use it once each duel, which means this thing's pop is only going to be useful once, right? Because its attack gets reset to whatever. So he gets one pop. You probably only need one pop. Celestial 1 row to 16 back row. Hey, we need a second malicious, okay? This thing gives us one of them. We need another malicious. Alright, get your deck list in order. Alright, to be honest, chat, this is probably gonna be the first deck I build from the box because I think it'll be the easiest one to build. How do you unlock the skill? Is it How do you unlock this? It's in game currently, right? I think. Is it just like summon 5 Destiny Hero monsters and you unlock it kind of stuff? Has anyone unlocked it yet? One pop kind of sucks. I mean, depends on if you're planning to win the next turn, you know? You're probably going to win if you stop your opponent playing the game. And then go into the next turn, smack him in the face. It unlocks tomorrow? Surely the same time the box unlocks, though, right? I swear to God, it's one of those like Grandpa Moto things where I have to literally wait another like whole day to play it. That's gonna be so triggering. So I already can't play the Well, I could play the this thing if I want to, just play the other skill. Wait, so does it unlock along with the box or with the? So it unlocks with the box. Okay, cool. So I think this will be the first deck I build. I think so. I think it'll be the easiest. I hope, and one of the more popular ones. Only 2 wins. Pog. I've noticed they've started making those skill unlocks a bit easier. Thankfully. All right, I'll definitely give this deck a chance. All right. The other deck that people are going to be wanting from me, but I can't do until Moto unlocks, unless I want to use the other level search skill, which I'm still not sure which one's better yet. Oh, Sunrise. Wait, how does Miracle Fusion? Well, I actually thought Miracle Fusion was using like Elemental Heroes or something from Grave as well. It's not, it's just anything. Of course, it's just anything. What's Sunrise's stats? He's 2 hero monsters with different attributes. The Destiny heroes aren't Destiny heroes all dark though? Like all dark? Yeah, they are. You can't. There's no way you can summon it, right? They're all dark. Let's just talk about using like the link to get it out. The link's probably not dark. Stratos? The skill's like Giga locking you from Stratos though, right? Oh, liquid in hand with pulley? I guess. Yes, I guess. Bro, this deck's getting too deep for me now. I don't know about that one. That sounds a little bit too spicy for me. I don't know about that one. I think I'd prefer to just play this is the cringy back row deck it deserves to be. I'm just summoning him for one pop with 15 back row, and that's the strat right there. 17 back row, summon out your boy. There's the play. I'm telling you, we back row decking. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think the Link monster can do it too, if you want to just play the Link. Well, that's kind of a bit odd. We'll see what people in DLM come up with, but I reckon this is looking like a back row deck from me. It seems like what it's going to be. Is there any the mask chains targets different things? They probably are. I don't know why you'd want to though. I mean, I don't even mind looking at this because I only work with different types. Yeah, it's not even. Never mind. Anyway, Armed Dragon Thunder level 10. If this card was split or summoned by the effect of an armed dragon monster, it gains effects based on its own attack. Okay. Okay. Wait, based on its own attack. What's. Huh? Wait, I'm confused. Does this mean the first three effects are always active? Huh? Now, doesn't this thing just always have its effects active other than the last one? Is that just how this works? Because it has 3,000 base, right? Oh, it's just a reference to the anime? Oh, okay. It does sound kind of silly otherwise. Like, I don't know why they write it out this way. Unless someone literally reduces his attack, I guess. Sure. Alright. This card's name becomes Armed Dragon level 10, sure. Possession of this card cannot switch. Suck my balls, crackdown, I guess. Cannot be destroyed by battle, sure. Once I guess that's kind of relevant because there's 3,000 attack. All things might want to try to swing into it for trading. 1,000 plus attack. Once per turn during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, target one card on the field, and destroy it. And this thing gains 1,000 attack for doing so. That's not too bad. And the final one is once per turn, you can destroy all cards on the field. Alright, so that first effect's a meme, right? So we only care about the other stuff. Quick effect pop is always good. And you can probably generate a lot of resources from doing so. Hmm. I guess we might as well review the last Armed Dragon card before we talk about this to see how good this deck is. This card's name becomes Armed Dragon level 3 while it's on the field or in the graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Armed Dragon level 3 once per turn. This thing isn't searchable from this thing though, right? One level 3 Armed Dragon. Oh, you can. Okay. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, send this card from the field to the graveyard. Introduce better summon level 5 or lower Armed Dragon monster from your hand or deck. And to draw if it's sent from hand to graveyard. Okay. Hmm. The skill searchable ultra. I wonder how good this deck actually is. I'm gonna be honest, reading it, it doesn't seem all that great. It just doesn't seem that bad either. It just seems like it's gonna be a sort of a deck that exists. What was that skill again? This one, right? It's just a once per turn pop effect. That's all you're getting from it. You're doing all this for a once per turn pop effect. Is that like that's like kind of all though? The deck doesn't really do much else, right? And you have to run a lot of other sort of pretty janky cards to get there. I know they're all good discard targets, but at the same time, they are like I don't know. Kind of force you to play dad too. So I guess you maybe have to run the skill rather than the other one. Hmm. What are your thoughts, chat? What do you guys think of these cards? I'm looking at these arm dragons, and to me, they don't seem all that um fantastic. I mean, I guess going second, you do quite a lot if you've got rid of back row. Like if your opponent has like nothing left, you just sort of like grab this dude, grab your dark arm to dragon, you just sort of beat your opponent to death on that turn. So I guess it's not that bad. It's just kind of like I don't. Like your mic quality, true. Solid roast, solid roast. I don't even know if my mic quality will be fixed next time I stream because for video quality it'll be fine because I'll be recording using my other laptop. I'll just record audio on that one, which will be fine. My 20-year-old laptop, it records audio fine. But for streaming, I don't want to stream using that laptop anymore because it would be awful. It's so weird too. Like I don't want to buy a new PC because my entire PC works other than for peripherals with my mic and my webcam, which is so annoying because obviously that's useful for streaming and making videos. If I was a normal human being who doesn't even care about that stuff, God, the computer's even that old too. It's got a fucking goddamn insane graphics card in it. I don't want to buy a new laptop. This thing's dope. Anyway. All right. So, what do we think of this box overall, boys? Oh, the skill makes it get consistent. I mean, yeah, but it just doesn't seem like you're doing a whole. I just tried to consider if this thing's like top tier or not, and I just don't see what it's doing being back. I guess it does generate so much value and stuff. I don't know. It guarantees gives you a pop one for turn one, I guess, which is better than most decks. So yeah, that's a good question. Was this ritual deck enough to warrant the ritual skill being nerfed? I'm gonna say no. I don't even care if this deck somehow turned out to be tier 0. I do not think this was enough to warrant that ritual skill getting nerfed and all the other ritual decks get gutted just because this one card was added. No shot. That was a load of bullshit. That skill should be reverted back to its previous. That was actually fucked up. Or maybe it was nerfed for this card, you never know. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for more ritual stuff than this. I was hoping for Natasha, but I guess still no Natasha, Sag. Saving Natasha for when they eventually add the other version of that character from Arc V or wherever she's from. I don't know. Monarchs seem like they're going to be dog water. This thing's a when effect. Arm Dragon seems like it's probably a deck, but it's really hard for me to sort of judge this one. Not as hard as trying to judge this deck, though. My brain cannot compute this shit. Like, reading these cards, you're like, there is so much insane value. This is a search for 2 cards. This is a draw like 7. Your field spell's like permanently gaining tokens to remove shit wherever it was. And then you're just like, but the monsters, they do weird shit. They're all hand traps. And this deck still somehow looks like it's going to be so jank it's unplayable. Like, how can you have an archetype of all hand traps, including a Book of Moon, a DD Crow, have a draw 7, have a search for 2 cards in your deck, and your archetype still could be Dog Water? How does that even happen? Like, what madman designed this archetype at Konami? Who did this? It's such an odd deck. Armdragon requires a discard to pop a card, just play Raigeki Break. No, I mean, no, because these cards like being discarded. This thing draws you one, this one gives you a search, this one gives you a search. They're all like fairly decent discards. And discard 1 pop probably isn't that bad. I mean, it's pretty bad. It also feels kind of weird if your entire deck is like, I don't know. This deck seems so odd to me. Going second, it seems like it might be okay if you have a lot of like back row removal and Book of Moons and stuff, because then you can use this thing, get this thing out fairly easily. Discard this one, which gives you the Armed Dragon card. Grab Dad, use your skill, summon Dad, your opponent just dies. You have to have exactly 3 for this, so I don't know how that would. I don't know that would work, it'd be easy. Like, this deck seems like an easily OTK going second. But going first, you're kind of setting up to 1 removal, which is, again, same as what this is doing. But this deck has a lot of just a lot of garbage, I think, being in it. I don't know. Yeah, the skill makes 3 dark, yeah. I was just worried there for a second because I was like, 3 dark exactly? Are there any other darks in this deck? But there weren't, of course. These are all wind, so it doesn't matter. Is this really? Is there really no other better play for Monarch's turn 1 other than hold this in hand, special summon this for a draw? That sounds so bad. Am I missing something? Is there like actually a better play for this card? Like, am I missing something with this deck that can do during your opponent's turn that's actually relevant? Bro, if this is your play, I am not hopeful for this deck at all. Escalation? Oh, God. Going back to the trap card? I mean, you might even have to, dude. Probably have. Oh, that's battle phase, isn't it? Oh, no, it's main phase. We're fine. God. I don't know about Monarchs, man. I don't know. I'm not hopeful. Who's this skill on, by the way? The Monarch skill. Who's that on? Is that another Moto skill? I don't know why Moto would have it in particular, but who the hell gets this? Is this who's getting this? This randomly's gonna be going Moto or what? Silvio? Oh, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did play Modox, right? Sure. Oh man, I don't know how to rate this box. Overall, I feel like there's a lot of stuff in here. It should be pretty fun, but I don't know what's good and what's bad. It's so difficult. I actually have no fucking clue. I'm so lost on this archetype. So lost. I'm getting bad feelings from Monarchs. Some sort of bad feelings from this one too. But I reckon with the skill, this should be alright. The amount of value this stuff is generating, how consistent it is, maybe it's tier worthy. Tier worthy. It is very consistent. It does generate a lot of value, but I don't know. I reckon Destiny Hero. I'm pretty sure this skill will be decent of a deck, even if it's not top tier. It's definitely gonna be decent because you're just gonna be playing a pop 1 set back row kind of a deck at worst, which it's probably all right. That's the only deck I have some like hope for. The rest, I'm like, I don't fucking know. Obviously, Nekros is a good team, but Nekros is already a good deck, so it just makes it better. So sure. Believe in the Monarchs? I am not a believer. I'm sorry, I'm not a believer. Like, this D hero skill seems just too good. Like, this is like if you open one Destiny hero monster, just one, you get this thing out, right? Because it's just you normal summon your dude, you activate your skill, sets a poly, tosses your malicious, banish malicious, summon to the field, 2 monsters, boom. 1 card, this dude. with effect active. So one card this dude with effect active for a quick effect pop, and then you just have 16 back row in hand. You could legit play 7 Destiny Hero monsters and the rest of your deck back row, and you're gonna have like a good time. Like, I don't see this deck being like bad. At worst, it'll be okay, you know? How can you go wrong with a deck of like 17 back row, you know? What did you miss? The entire review, but that's alright. Alright, boys. It's probably about time we end the review here. Hope you guys enjoyed this review, but yeah, I don't know how to rate this shit. Mic quality will return to normal for tomorrow's video, but for future streams, you're probably going to have scuffed mic because I can't be asked fixing it or trying to find a way to fix it. It's too much effort. So you just have to have scuffed mic. Although the webcam being gone is kind of bad, so I don't know how I'm going to deal with that. Like, no webcam for box openings? How you guys going to watch me rage, you know? That sounds kind of bad. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you in the next. There should be a stream tomorrow for our box opening, and there should be a video tomorrow for probably Destiny Hero first, Armed Dragon the day after once the skill releases, and then I think that's it really for the first 2 days. Unless I want to do a double upload of something like Monarchs or something. This archetype, which is gonna be confusing as all fuck. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Laters.